to winning. The more you win, the more you win.
The Clinton Foundation is the biggest organized crime family that I know of. For example, Hillary Clinton took money from the Russians to sell American uranium to Russia. She took money from the Saudi Arabians to sell Syria and Yemen to Saudi Arabia and to justify ISIS and protect ISIS. Hillary Clinton is probably the single most corrupt politician in U.S. history since Lyndon Baines Johnson. And as Secretary of State, money would come into the Clinton Foundation and U.S. support would go out. And by the way, the reason we have 1,000 military bases is not for military power. They're lily pads for smuggling. That is how CIA smuggles gold, guns, drugs, cash, and small children for the elites in the United States. War is a profit center, not just for oil. War produces body parts. It produces orphans. It produces all kinds of human goods that can then be trafficked. And the banks rely on war and drugs for their cash flow, for their liquidity.
These experts deliver a clear message. The COVID vaccines, especially those using mRNA technology, should be stopped immediately.
I think I'm uniquely qualified to speak on what's been going on for the last years. I actually have degrees in applied mathematics, immunology, computational biology, biochemistry, and molecular biology. These things need to stop being pushed and given today. Not one more shot should be delivered. It's the constant same message that's not true. I'm referring to primarily the safe and effective message still being put out today. These mRNA products specifically, those are the ones I know the most about, are neither. The main message is that the people who are injured, who haven't made the connection between, why they're injured and why they're suffering, I want to provide them, the most help. First of all, to know that they're not alone. If they're being gaslit even by their own doctor, there are people out there who are establishing protocols to help the vaccine injured.
The post Paul Marik is recognized as one of the world's top specialists in pulmonary and critical care. Having authored over 500 peer-reviewed publications, he is established as one of the most published physicians in his field.
COVID doesn't, vaccine doesn't, many diseases.
Paul Marik and his team are working on solutions for what he believes is a health catastrophe following mass vaccination.
They were never safe nor effective. They've harmed countless millions of people. It should never have happened. And it's a tragedy that it was allowed to happen. These so-called vaccines, I think, represent the worst of COVID and the worst of this deceit, dishonesty that we've seen. And I think we provide part of the answer to this terrible problem we're facing.
Experts critical of COVID vaccines point to biopsy findings, thousands of case reports, and large studies which they believe reveal real harm.
If you haven't yet detoxed from the vaccine, now is the time to act. Lingering spike proteins and graphene oxide can be very dangerous to your body over time, triggering chronic inflammation, blood clots, immune system dysfunction, organ damage. And the spike protein will also attack and destroy your endocrine system, which can cause changes in your mood, as our endocrine systems are what makes our hormones. And this will directly affect our moods. So if you're going to choose one of the professional detoxes I've tried and recommend, then you will have two choices. Either for you living in the US or Canada, which will be the top link, or for those living in the rest of the world will be the link at the bottom. This will ensure that you get the lowest cost shipping possible. And most importantly, be you.
We're not the first civilization on planet Earth. Not even close. We're not the first to live here, to build, to rise, and we're definitely not the first to fall. Because far beneath our oceans, buried under silence and pressure, there are ruins, massive stone structures, some carved, some aligned with the stars. Take the Yonaguni monument off the coast of Japan. Giant megaliths, steps, platforms cut with angles too perfect for nature, estimated to be over 10,000 years old, which means it existed before history officially began. Then there's the Gulf of Kambat in India, an entire city underwater, found by sonar, confirmed by divers, complete with roads, walls, artifacts older than the pyramids, or the temples beneath Lake Titicaca, the structures off the coast of Cuba, the ones lost to the sands of Egypt. All of them whispering the same thing: something came before us, and maybe the flood stories weren't metaphors. Maybe Atlantis wasn't a myth. Maybe Earth has done this before, many times. Civilization rises, then something happens and it drowns. So, if we're not the first, what ended them? And more importantly, are we next?